Hello, I'm Michael Carelli. Or wait a minute. No, I'm Owen Grady. At least at Universal Orlando. Not officially. I'm just a fan. I So, if you don't know me or you might have seen me, there was a viral TikTok that went around from a person we are not going to name that said I was Chris Pratt. And from behind, I mean, yeah, I guess, but why would Chris Pratt be in Orlando when it was 95 degrees out in a pleather vest, pants, and boots? So I cosplay Owen Grady, and I take some toy photos, and I make memes, and I just overall tons of shenanigans. I mean, I started out as a casual Jurassic fan, and it was kind of my outlet for a while. Just with the theme parks, I did the photography. I kind of worked my way up to being a Jurassic fan. With Jurassic World, I think Jurassic World is kind of the thing that just pushed me over the edge when Fallen Kingdom came out. That was my version of the Lost World, kind of like how just like what you had. You had all the marketing and the promotional material, all the toys, everything hitting overload. And for me, this was my Lost World. That's kind of what tipped me over the edge, and just the Mattel stuff. I always wanted to buy Jurassic Park toys, but I wasn't impressed with Hasbro. And then we got the figures without the screw holes and just the really detailed paint apps. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy them all. And I think I did. I have ADHD, so I hyperfixate on things, and I think this is the thing that I hyperfixated on the longest. I mean, I've always loved dinosaurs. I grew up going to the theme parks. I never Jurassic kind of came in later. Like I said earlier, I was a casual fan, but I never went to Universal. I have three sisters, so we always went to Disney, and the only place you can get dinosaurs is on the dinosaur ride. But there's no princesses at Animal Kingdom, so that was my outlet for a while. And then I saw Jurassic Park when I was 10, and I was just casual at the time, and then I went on the ride at Universal in 2011, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wanted to go on it over and over and over again. And then Jurassic World came out. I was already a big Chris Pratt fan, and I guess that's kind of where my personality stems from. Just he's so happy and goofy and happy-go-lucky, and yeah, he was a big inspiration for me. I based my weight loss off of him. I saw his weight loss. I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too. And then that kind of went into play with the Owen cosplay thing. A lot of people picked up on that, the team members, guests, and just it made people happy. So I kept up with that, and it kind of created an identity. But I think Fallen Kingdom is the point where I just lost it and dove into the deep end. Yeah, so when they started that push, it's just, oh my gosh. I worked at Toys R Us at the time, and that was hard work in there because you'd see all the new toys rolling in, and you'd be like, I want this, I want that. And I was all over the place. I had Star Wars, I had Marvel, I had a few DC, the NECA horror stuff, and I was like, nope, I'm selling my whole collection. I'm going to focus on Jurassic, because there was finally some good product coming out. They never really put that much out for Jurassic World, I don't think. And right next to me, I have my life-size baby Blue. I sold so much for that, and just this collection in general. I love it. It brings me so much joy. And just this community, too, is so friendly. Uh, we feel like one big family here. The first one is the life-size baby Blue. That is, I think that kind of was the first, probably my most expensive purchase ever, because I was collecting Star Wars Hot Toys for the longest time, and I sold those because they were discontinued figures, and it immediately bought me blue. So yeah, I love blue. I just I have a blue shrine on one of my shelves. I pretty much buy anything blue and I keep it there. The next one I would probably say is my first Legacy Spinosaurus, and the prop sign that I have from Universal Studios, which was part of the Fallen Kingdom display. It's a wooden sign that they used in their shelving, and I bought it at the prop shop, so that was cool to officially own a part of Universal Studios. And then probably the grand opening pin for VelociCoaster. That was really cool. I love the artwork on it, the sunset. I think that's kind of where I got my inspiration for my painting from. Oh, I remembered. I'm sorry, I can't believe I forgot this. My Ian Malcolm Funko Pop that I got signed by Jeff Goldblum at MegaCon 2018. Meeting him was amazing. You just go up to him and he's like, haha, here I am, I'm Jeff Goldblum. You're being graced with my presence. It was chaos that day, and I was working as a cosplay photographer, taking photos. I had clients all throughout the day, and my friends were just hanging out at the con, and I was like, if I give you this pop, can you meet him for me? Here's some money. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And then his schedule got moved around last minute, as things do at conventions, so you could entirely miss meeting him. And I wrapped up with my shoots on time, and I walked down there. I was like, okay, let me see if he's still here. And they were like, go, 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 go. He's going over there now. And they made sure everybody had their cash ahead of time, and they gave you a little sticky note on how many autographs you were getting. And he buzzed through that line like crazy. That was probably the shortest wait I've ever had for any celebrity. Very professional. He gave everybody the right amount of time. It was an experience, and I can't believe I forgot to mention that. Alright, so for the cosplay, I never wanted to be a cosplayer because Alright, so I used to be really overweight, and I wasn't happy with myself. So I was like, alright, let me be the camera guy. And my friends who are cosplayers, I would practice taking photos for them. And then Owen's vest, they put that out at Hot Topic as a replica. And I was like, oh yeah, let me wear that, because before Fallen Kingdom, I tried cosplaying as Owen once, and that was for our Lego Jurassic World building event. When I was working at Toys R Us, I cut up a brown shirt to make a vest, and I put that on, and I was saying hi to the kids with Jeffrey. Funny thing is, one kid, when he got up to me, he looked at me and he started crying because he thought that I was gonna sick the raptors on him. And that was always kind of in the back of my mind. I was like, that was really fun. And so circling back to Fallen Kingdom, I got the vest and everything, and I went out and I met Blue. It kind of got a negative reaction. I posted my photos, and I was like, oh, this is what I look like? And I was getting bullied for it too, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna show you. And circling back to Chris Pratt's weight loss thing, I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too. And so from April of 2019 to December, I went from being 287 pounds down to 202, jumping about 3 clothing sizes, and just improving the cosplay and feeling more like that character. People started getting into it, and I started getting some positive reactions from it, and it just boosted my confidence. And with that, I made a lot of new friends. I started talking to Tom and Clever Fangirl and Neems. Everybody just kind of reached out and they're like, this is really cool. Really cool. And I actually made friends with a girl who cosplayed as Claire. So we went around a couple of times, took photos, got stopped by some park guests. There was one lady that just shoved her baby in my friend's arms. She's like, here, I want a photo with you guys. The baby was dressed up as little baby Alan Grant, which was really cute. And then I had one guy break down crying because Jurassic meant so much to him and he loved our characters and what we did with it. And it makes people happy. It makes me happy. I've made so many friends through it, and I'm thankful for the reactions. Jurassic brings people together. Just this past December, I was going through something, and Tom and Neems and Laura, aka Clever Fangirl, I didn't say anything what was going on. They just texted me all in that day, and it was all at once. It was kind of weird. It's like, are you following me? And I feel so loved. You guys have definitely made a difference in my life, and for that I'm thankful, and I don't take any of it for granted. Okay, so for what happened this Sunday, I had the annual pass holder preview for Jurassic World VelociCoaster, and because this was kind of a thing, this identity that I took on as being the guy that goes to Universal and pretends to be Chris Pratt. Not really, but Owen. I don't go around announcing, look, it's me, Owen. But people pick up on it and they get in the mood. They're like, oh hey Owen, and we kind of ramble around about the Raptors and get into character. And so yeah, I just went there that day and I was getting pulled to the side for photos, video. Marketing knew who I was because if you check my Twitter or social media, I'm just bombarding everybody's timeline with VelociCoaster and photos of me in cosplay. And then there was a TikToker we will not name took a video of my back turned at the Starbucks in Islands of Adventure's Port of Entry, and he tagged Chris Pratt in there, and he's like, hey look everybody, it's Chris Pratt! And so apparently some people who knew who I was, they were like, a lot of people are trying to find you right now because they think you're Chris. So I was walking around, I was getting stopped for photos, just chilling out on the waterfront. I had one lady come and grab my arm and she's like, oh, no. Okay. Okay. Just watch me get a cease and desist from Chris Pratt. Oh, hey kid, that's really cool what you're doing. Stop. Yeah, there was one kid that I met in October last year when they started doing the Halloween thing at IOA where you could dress up and go around and get candy. He was all decked out in his Jurassic clothing, and after I met Blue, he had his mom pull me aside and he showed me the video of him meeting Blue. He's like, do you think I could make a good raptor trainer someday? And I was like, oh, you're so sweet. Because he thought I was the real Owen. And then just the shenanigans with Blue. It's a different encounter every time. I did break Blue once, and that was when I did Chris's warm-up video, or his warm-up dance, in the behind the scenes. Yeah, it's that famous gif. And I started dancing around, and Blue's like, what is going on? And the handler's like, he wants you to dance, Blue. So she starts going up and down, just bobbing. I kind of left my expectations blank. I knew they were putting a lot of love into it just based on marketing and merchandise and just the details. They didn't have to go as hard as they did, but they knocked this out of the park. So I went in with a blank mind. I wanted to be open and experience and not let my expectations get in the way of what was delivered. if you know what I mean. I didn't want to go in like, oh, you needed this and this and this. I just wanted to enjoy it. And I think we do that a lot with media. We kind of form our opinions on it before we even experience it, and then we get disappointed when it's not what we want. And so yeah, and another thing that I want to mention is I am not a coaster person at all. The most intense coaster that I've been on, a lot of people are probably going to laugh at this, is Expedition Everest. So I've never done Hulk, I've never done Rocket, and my nerves kind of just overtook me. I was excited to be there. I was thankful, and I ran in and I saw the loading platform. I'm like, do I go? And yes, I go. It's Jurassic. I'm obligated. I have to do it. I have to say I've done it. If I don't like it, I won't ride it after I've done it the first time, but I've gone on the ride 6 times now. I love it. It's an absolute home run. Just the lead up to it. They encapsulated the franchise perfectly. Alright, so when you first enter, there's this big open area like a lobby. You have the 2 raptor statues kind of going down at you, and there's going to be torches that shoot off fireballs every time the coaster comes down, the drop. So that's pretty cool. And there's just this incredible lighting package. It feels very Transformers, very military base. It feels simple, yet sophisticated at the same time. There's a lot of these lights. I think it's just the symmetry. Everything's just so perfectly done, and it syncs up together. And I forgot, in the Dr. Wu room, there is lockers with a bunch of Easter eggs. There's Dr. Alan Grant's book, and Ellie's book is in there. Malcolm's book is in there. Owen's training bracer from the Fallen Kingdom flashback video is in there. There's an RC model of the train. There's the behavior logs. There's the glass of water, the T-Rex glass of water. There's some training treats. And then you turn the corner, there's some really cool posters about attractions. There's the Indominus Rex coming soon, and then River Adventure, and there's a Camp Cretaceous one with a Brachiosaurus and 2 kids on the zip line, also coming soon, which is cool because in canon, those attractions weren't open yet. And you go through the metal detectors, you go up a flight of stairs, and there's a few switchbacks. It's like the big board in the control room. It's the TV monitor with Claire and Owen. She's all very, hello, I am Claire. Welcome to Jurassic World. You've challenged us. We hear you. More teeth. And then she cuts to Owen, and he's like, oh, is this thing on? Oh, your plan's stupid. And she's like, oh, we're on. And it's just going back and forth. The writing is just so perfect in this moment. It really reminds me of the Lego Jurassic World stuff. Just the banter and the silliness of the whole plot. I love it. It's classic Owen and Claire. And it also feels canon to their relationship too, because before the events of Jurassic World, they didn't really like each other. They had that Peter Parker, Mary Jane kind of thing going back and forth. Will they, won't they? They like each other, but they're not really friends. So you see that play out. Owen is getting the launch tunnel prepped. The Raptors are kind of misbehaving. He has this spiel about, this is really bad. They haven't been fed yet. I talked to corporate, and they don't want to listen. So you just see a really sarcastic Owen going back and forth. One of the ACU troopers accidentally shocks Delta, so she's freaking out. Owen's getting upset. What's really cool is you see Gregory Hall and Shelby Honea, the creative director and producer, in their ACU outfits in the background of the video. So that's really cool. I love this ride so much. I know that's easy to say whenever you get a new attraction, but it's just, this ride is a home run. 10 out of 10 gold blooms. I don't know how to rate it other than that. This ride is making me a coaster person. I never thought this would happen. I was always timid and shy, like, I don't want to do this, I'm doing coasters from now on. I would say, just do it. If you're scared of coasters, do it. You're gonna have so much fun on this thing. I don't want to compare myself to you or anybody else that wasn't a coaster person. Just, it's so smooth. It takes a lot of the scariness out of it, and it's something you absolutely can't miss. And especially as a Jurassic fan, you'll be in paradise there. It's perfect. I'm excited, and I feel like Universal finally has the confidence in Jurassic, because I'm going and the merchandise is flying off the shelves. Just like Mr. DNA. These mugs just came out today, and there was barely any left when I first saw them. I never thought we would ever get Mr. DNA merchandise, and here we are. Thank you so much for inviting me. Like, again, I said earlier, I never thought I would be here, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the love and attention you guys have given me, just cheering me on, being in my corner. That's what it's about. We're a Jurassic family. We got to take care of each other.